a distribution that rivals the dominance of the robber barons of the Gilded Age. When the financial crisis of 2008 temporarily narrowed the wealth divide, monetary policies adopted to address it quickly resuscitated the banks and secured the affluent's assets, but left employment tenuous and wages stagnant. The past 4 decades of American history have therefore been marked by 2 interconnected transformative developments: the financialization of the U.S. economy and the surge in inequality across U.S. society. This book shows that one cannot be understood without the other. Indeed, the rise of finance is one fundamental cause of the heightened inequality in the contemporary United States. The most damaging consequence of the contemporary financial system is not simply recurrent financial crises, but a widening social divide between the haves and have-nots. To understand contemporary finance is to understand contemporary inequality. We are not the first to claim that the rise of the U.S. financial sector engendered inequality. In the fall of 2011, protesters occupied Zuccotti Park, only blocks from the New York Stock Exchange, calling attention to the stark disparity in wealth between Wall Street and Main Street. Occupy Wall Street protesters initially demanded the arrest of financiers responsible for the 2008 crisis, a tightening of Wall Street regulation, a ban on high-frequency trading, and an investigation into political corruption. As the movement grew, the protesters' demands became more ambitious. The movement's well-known slogan, "We are the 99%, called on the American public to reclaim power and resources from the 1%, that small group of financial and political elites who control the vast majority of American capital. Protesters attributed stark inequality to a revolving door between New York and Washington, or between finance and politics, tipping the balance of political power in the favor of organized corporate interests, allowing ruling elites to prosper while working and middle-class Americans flounder. Occupy protesters were initially ignored by the mainstream media, yet they garnered international attention as they took on the problem of inequality and the extreme wealth of the 1% on Wall Street. The movement began with a small encampment in a public park in September 2011. Within weeks, it had spread across the country and around the world. The mobilizations peaked on October 15th, when the organizers tallied 950 participating cities in more than 80 countries around the world. Major European capitals such as Rome and Madrid had crowds estimated at 200,000 to 500,000 people, and more than 70,000 protesters turned out for nationwide actions in the United States. Despite facing criticism for their leaderless democratic approach and evolving demands, the protesters' central message condemning inequality spread far and wide. Perhaps the most successful outcome of the Occupy movement is that it underlined Wall Street's role in widening economic inequality between the 99% and 1%. In his 2012 State of the Union address, President Barack Obama emphasized that a deficit of trust between Main Street and Wall Street warranted the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act of 2010. Pundits, including economist Paul Krugman, publicly shared the sentiments espoused by Occupy protesters, arguing that the industry responsible for the Great Recession must pay for the damages caused by its greed and excess. Democrats and Republicans alike came to recognize that economic inequality was a paramount concern, and populism arose as the winning ideology in the 2016 presidential election. Still, amid scathing critiques and powerful political movements, the money to be had in financial services swelled, and inequality continued.